If you recently spent over $800 on a smartphone thinking it would stay future-proof for years, Apple just delivered a cold reality check. The company has officially drawn a strict line in the hardware sand for its upcoming Siri AI overhaul. Millions of active devices, including the standard iPhone 15 and previous flagship models, are officially locked out of on-device Siri intelligence. Today, we're diving into the technical engineering behind this hardware mandate, analyzing whether on-device NPU limits are real or artificially manufactured, and what this means for your tech budget. To understand why this cutoff is happening, we need to look strictly at the hardware specs published by Apple. The baseline requirement for local Siri AI execution on smartphones is the A17 Pro chip, while iPads and Macs require an M1 chip or newer. But the real bottleneck isn't just raw neural engine TOPS performance, it's system RAM. Every supported device on Apple's compatibility list features at least 8 GB of unified memory. The standard iPhone 15, equipped with 6 GB of RAM and the A16 Bionic processor, falls just short. When running a 3 billion parameter local language model alongside background OS tasks, 6 GB simply causes memory paging crashes. Apple isn't completely locking older devices out of all cloud-based AI, but their engineering strategy relies heavily on private cloud compute for complex queries. However, the update introduced a second tier inside Apple Intelligence, a 12 GB RAM hardware floor required for their advanced on-device 20 billion parameter model. This means that while 8 GB devices handle basic Siri tasks, only devices with 12 GB of RAM, like the iPhone 17 Pro series and M3, M4 Max, can run the most expressive voice models and instant local dictation without offloading data to the cloud. Do you think restricting advanced AI features to 8 GB and 12 GB RAM hardware is a necessary performance requirement, or is Apple using software features to push hardware upgrades? Drop your opinion in the comments below. Consumer sentiment across tech forums has been intensely polarized. Buyers who bought standard non-Pro models just a generation ago feel prematurely left behind. Meanwhile, hardware analysts point out that running local transformer models without sufficient unified memory bandwidth creates unacceptably high latency, rapid battery drain, and thermal throttling. Let's break down the technical reality of local large language models. Running a 3 billion parameter model quantized to 4-bit precision requires roughly 2 to 2.5 GB of VRAM just to store the model weights in active memory. When you factor in the operating system overhead, camera buffer, and active background apps, a 6 GB phone only has about 1.5 GB of free RAM left. If the system runs out of memory, it forces the OS to reload background apps constantly. In contrast, 8 GB and 12 GB unified memory architectures provide the bandwidth and headroom needed to keep the AI model permanently resident in memory for instant responses. How does this hardware policy compare across the broader tech industry? Google and Samsung faced similar hardware decisions. Google's Gemini Nano on-device AI features were initially restricted to Pro devices with 12 GB of RAM before being optimized for lower memory tiers with offloaded capabilities. Samsung similarly limits its most complex Galaxy AI features based on processor generations. However, Apple's approach is more binary. If your device doesn't meet the chip and RAM floor, on-device Siri features simply do not install. Would you be willing to upgrade your device early just for advanced on-device AI features? Or will you stick with your current phone until it breaks? Let me know in the comments. Beyond consumer upgrade budgets, this strict hardware cutoff raises important questions about device longevity and electronic waste. In recent years, smartphone repairability and software support lifespans have improved significantly. However, when major AI feature updates are locked behind hardware gates, it creates a new form of feature-driven obsolescence. Looking ahead at the semiconductor roadmap, memory requirements will only increase. Industry reports from chip manufacturers indicate that future flagship mobile platforms are moving toward 12 GB and 16 GB RAM as the standard baseline to accommodate larger multimodal models. Unified memory bandwidth is becoming as critical to mobile performance as CPU clock speeds were during the gigahertz wars of the 2000s. As local AI models become more capable, RAM is no longer just for multitasking. It is the direct workspace for your device's artificial intelligence. To wrap it up, Apple's hardware mandate for Siri AI isn't purely a marketing ploy, nor is it completely unavoidable. It is the direct consequence of running localized large language models on unified memory architectures. While 8 gigabytes gets you in the door for standard features, the 12 gigabytes tier signals where mobile computing is heading. If you're buying a device today with long-term AI feature support in mind, checking the RAM specs is more important than ever. Thanks for watching Tech Market Pulse. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for deep dive tech hardware analysis. See you in the next video.